Trying to perfect your fadeaway jump shot? Jesse Muench here with Get Handles. Today I got some tips that are going to help you perfect that fadeaway shot a lot more quickly. Okay, first of all, before we go into the details of how to perfect it, I just want to give you some situations of how, why, and when you'd want to use the fadeaway jump shot. Generally, I tell younger players, if they can, use more of a step back to create separation and then shoot, because they can still stick to their, typical shooting form. Whereas the fadeaway is going to be a little bit more difficult. You're creating the separation while you jump, okay? Or, could be a side fadeaway, which we're going to cover both of those in this video. But the instance you'd want to use it is more when you don't have the time to stop, or your momentum's carrying you too quickly, where you don't have the time to stop, and you're still, moving one way, and you would want to get the shot off fading away. Or if you're kind of stuck here, you can't really do a step back, right? You have to use that fadeaway to create separation. So some key tips. First of all, I always try to think about it as like, whichever way you're moving, you kind of want to counteract that with your shot. If I'm fading back, I would want to try to aim to shoot a little further forward, because since my body's carrying me this way, I have to fight that momentum and push the ball further that way. So that's one tip, for when you're just trying to get started and figure out how to lock in on the rim. That's one tip. And then the same thing would apply if I'm fading this way. If I'm moving this way, I'd want to shoot the ball more that way. Or if I'm fading this way, I'd want to shoot the ball more that way than I typically would. And then after a while, the more you do it, you'll start to adjust and be able to just kind of lock in on the rim. And the next tip I want to give you is that you want to try to really lock in on that rim, okay? I always tell players, pick a link. Don't aim for the whole rim. Pick for a little link on the rim where the net hooks up to the rim. Pick one of those and aim for that. And make sure you stay locked in on that. So even though as your line of sight is changing, you're still kind of aiming for that spot, okay? So you stay locked in on that spot as you're moving. The next tip is when you're just starting to learn how to do the fadeaway shot, I would recommend that you start closer to the rim. So don't try to, learn how to do fadeaways way back out here or way back out by the three-point line, okay? Because that's going to be a really difficult transition to make. Start a little closer. You could even start right by the basket, right? And just work on fading, fading away back. Just a little bit. Fading more to the side. Just a little bit, okay? And then as you get better at it, you can work on, still staying in this spot, fading away a little more, fading away a little more. From there, you could start taking things up a notch by going further away then. Okay, the next tip is that on the fadeaway shot, there's a lot of different positions your body could be facing, right? If you're coming this way, your body's gonna be kind of facing this way. If you're coming this way, your body's gonna be kind of facing this way. If you're fading way back, your body's gonna be a little more square to the rim. No matter what you do though, when you're in the air, right as you're about to release the shot, try to get your shooting side hip, shoulder, and foot lined up with the hoop. So if I'm moving this way, I would want to jump and in the air get my body aligned right on my release, so my hip, my shoulder, all that is aligned, okay? Same thing if I'm here. I won't have to turn quite as much because I'm already facing this way, right? So use that, time in the air to kind of get your body turned in that position. That'll give you a little bit more power on the shot and make it easier for you to get that, range down. Because like we were talking about before, you have to kind of counteract your momentum. That'll help with that quite a bit. Same thing when you're jumping back, right? Try to get turned. If I'm gonna move this way, jumping back again, I would turn in the air. So again, this shoulder comes forward. That'll help with your accuracy, your power, and make it so you can extend that range a little bit more. Okay, and then the final tip is make sure that you're completely on balance off that jump. Okay, you don't want to be jumping and kind of out of control. I mean, sometimes you can get away with on layups, right? Kind of jumping, not completely under control, and you're kind of falling to the basket and make those layups. It's going to be so much harder to try to make a fadeaway jump shot while you're not in control off that jump. So whether you're jumping from 2 feet or jumping from more of a running type 1-2, make sure that jump is still in complete control. So you have control over your body and that you are on balance, because otherwise you're not going to be able to take care of those other details, such as getting that shooting side turned around in the air, keeping everything aligned with your shot, keeping your shot form there, okay? Start on balance with that jump, whatever direction you're moving, make sure you're doing it on balance. But then number 2, once you're in the air, we talked about how you want to get turned so everything's moving towards the basket on the shooting side. Also make sure that form is pretty much exactly the same as your jump shot, right? get the wrist bent back, the elbow bent, try to keep the shooting arm aligned, elbow in, all that stuff. You want to keep all those details intact, okay, as you're in the air. It's not going to be though like your typical jump shot where you get everything lined up from here, right? Because you're kind of doing all that as you're in the air. You're kind of getting that second part of the shot in position in the air. So quick examples like Steph Curry, he's more of a one motion shooter. So he's gonna start here and he's gonna go straight up for that shot. You don't see him doing a ton of fadeaway jump shots. That's for more typically a two motion shooter like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. They would do more of that type of a shot, more of the fadeaways to create their separation, okay? And what they would do is, for a two motion shooter, they'll usually start here and then there's a spot here where they'll kind of pause. So for the fadeaway, you're focusing on that second part, getting the ball into that position as you're in the air, okay? You can still do it more one motion, but you're not gonna be able to do as much of a fadeaway with it typically, versus if you come here and get a line, okay? And what that's gonna allow you to do is kind of go into that fadeaway jump shot for more types of game situations, because you don't have to worry so much about getting the ball in this spot here. You can just worry about when you're in the air a little more about trying to get the shot aligned. If you want to take your game to the next level, make sure you click this link right here. That's a free workout that's helped thousands of players, and I'm pretty sure it'll help you too. Click that link, pop in your email, and I'll send that to you right away for free. Also, make sure you click that subscribe button. Check out this video, check out this playlist, and as always, make sure you click that like button, click that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and get on that notification squad, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what else you want to see. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more and break some ankles today.